Hi everyone, on behalf of St.Xaviers College, Vaikom, I am Mohammed Rashid from the Department of Political Science, Mass Communication and Journalism welcomes you to the discussion session that is initiated by NCC and NSS Wing and the Vimukti that is initiated by the Xaviers and the Yodhav, which is an initiative by Kerala Police against drug, and Bodha Purnima, which is initiated by the state government of Kerala to fight against the effect of drug. Drug, one of the major threats that faced worldwide, which cause terrorism, crime, unemployment, and even illness to the people. The adverse effect of drug that starts from a person to a family to a society, then a problem of a nation, and it even spread beyond the borders. So today we have the students of the college to discuss about this topic, the effect of drug and how it is destroying our future and the present generation.
So I am Aditya Santosh from the Department of Political Science and Journalism.
I am Andrew Sagar from Zoology and Agriculture Department.
I am Andrea Thomas from Physics Department.
I am Lakshmi Krishna from Physics Department.
Myself, Megha Manoj from Department of Food Science and Quality Control.
I am Anila Santosh from the Department of Political Science and Journalism.
Myself, Akash Krishna, and I am from Politics and Mass Communication Department.
Drug abuse, also called substance abuse, is an illness that is characterized by a destructive patterned use of illegal or legal drug or medication. The condition affects the person's brain and behavior such that they are unable to control the use of drug to the point that interferes with their ability to function. The drug users consumes the drug in amount or methods that are harmful to themselves or others. Some of the most commonly used drugs are alcohol, cocaine, opioids, benzodiazepines, cannabis, barbiturates, amphetamine, hallucinogens, inhalants, and club drugs, and other substances.
As we discussed here, and we are just going to discuss about the social impacts of drugs in our society. So, being a social animal, we are having so much responsibilities to our society. When we are abused or when we are into that drugs, we are lacking this, and we are becoming irresponsible. As a social animal, we are becoming irresponsible. So the main problems that start from drug abuse are loss of trust from the families itself. So being alienated from the family can make a person more irresponsible or more alienated in the society too. So being a drug addict is not only a threat for ourselves, it's also a threat for our family and also society. So we as the young generation is mostly into this situation or this dilemma, and this makes our country most worse. Not only our country, all the people that who are into these drugs, they are becoming more worse only because of this. So they are making their country or making the welfare of their country making that development process in slow, or they are retarding that process. So as we discussing here, we should be aware of the social responsibilities that we all are having in our life as a social animal, and we should control this in our ways.
As Aditya said, being a young blood, we have some responsibilities to take an action to reduce the use of drugs in the society. Day by day, drugs are being a part for this era's social status, and many lives are getting suffered from this. An individual builds a family, and this family is a part of society. So it's definitely a social issue, and it's essential to take an action against this issue. A person who gets treatment in his first stage can be firstly cured. Within a society or by standing in a society, it's not that easy to recognize a person who is addicted with drugs. A clean observation is required to recognize a person who is addicted with drugs. If a person has change in his character, and when he likes to sit in a room which is closed, and he shows some unusual hyperactiveness or unpredictable mood swings, also always being in a stage of stress or depression, these are the main figured out symptoms or signs of drug addiction. Other symptoms are seen physically. So this may help us to figure out a person who is being addicted to drug.
As Andrew said, drugs affect the human mind. In general, when a person is under the influence of drugs, his memory is blurred and has a lot of blind spots. Drugs makes one feel silly or slow and become the main cause of many failures in everyday life. The addicts often feel people are looking at him strangely. The addict can even lose his sense of being alive. Some of the signs of drug addiction are slurred speech, increased blood pressure and heart rate, red eyes, dry mouth, drowsiness, a sense of euphoria, paranoia, hallucination, and etc. And the last thing we need to remember is there is no more harm caused by anything other than drugs.
Of course, drug abuse for health disease. The usage of drug is a personal opinion. We cannot interact. That will affect their not only a person but their family, friends, and relatives. They need more money for expensive drugs, and they do anything for drugs. They need more privacy from others, and they will break the relationships and social commitments.
Drug, as my friend said, drug has many ill effects on our body, especially on health. Drug can be intaken in different methods. The most common is the one which we take orally. It damages our mouth tissues, causing mouth cancer and other diseases. And the one who sniffs drugs, it damages their nose and nostrils, causing other smelling issues. And the most commonly and the most dangerous way of consuming drugs is by injection. It damages the blood tissues, causing the damage to our blood vessels. It even ruptures the blood vessels, causing blood cancer, heart diseases, lung diseases, and other artery problems. Intake of drug could lead to anxiety, depression, and it may eventually cause the death of the consumer.
I think you all have listened to what Anna said. As she mentioned, the person who gets treatment at this first stage can fastly recover. And the treatment to this addictive disorder can be depend on several factors, including the type of addictive disorder, the length, the severity, their age. These all factors affect the treatment methods. There are treatments for physical condition. There are physical damage and also mental damages by using these drugs. And medications are used, especially medications are used for these withdrawal symptoms, symptoms and anxiety, depression, sleeplessness, and also these medications are also given to prevent relapse from this drug addicts. For mental health, we use behavioral therapies, counselings, and these behavioral therapies can be of different types. Cognitive behavioral therapy, where we motivate the user to recognize the situation in which he is using drugs to cope up with this situation, and also multidimensional family therapy. It's especially for the adolescent children who are most likely to get into the use of drugs, and to establish a healthy communication with their family and friends. Next is a therapy where we motivate these drug addicts to rebuild their lost confidence, to rebuild their social status, their all those things. And nowadays it's long term and short term therapies are also available. Long term rehabilitation process, which is of 24 hours, where there is medical incentives provided, and also short term where it is from actually 6 to 12 months, and where they will also get medical incentives, 24-hour treatment. There are these long-term rehabilitation huts for that, and there are now self-help groups for where these people can meet others with the same disorders. For example, Alcoholic Anonymous, Narcotic Anonymous, there are groups, and it also helps to boost their confidence and to know that they are not alone in this society. They are not alone. They are not alienated. There are people who suffer from this same disorders, and also there should be a step from us to encourage people and to make them realize what they're doing is not good, and there is treatment for this. They are not alone in this. There are people to help them, and also some suggestions are there to avoid these kind of situations, which includes adopting a pet, which is very good to spend our leisure time, and involving in activities like arts, or doing our favorite hobbies, etc., and making a healthy conversation with our friends, family, and all.
So when we talk about addiction, addiction is a neurological disorder that affects the reward system in the brain. In a healthy person, the reward system reinforces important behaviors that are essential for survival, such as feeding, sexual activities, and social interaction. For example, the reward system ensures that you reach for food when you are hungry, because you know that after eating you will feel good. In other words, it makes the activity of eating pleasurable and memorable, so you would want to do it again and again whenever you feel hungry. Drugs of abuse hijack this system, turning the person's natural needs into drug needs.
It's time to realize drug abuse is not only a crime but also a sickness, and recovery is a battle. I am Alan Anthony from the Department of Political Science with Mass Communication and Journalism. Thus, I am here to conclude the group discussion on the topic saying no to drugs. Fatal consumption of drugs and how it destroys the life of our youth is a point of discussion in this scenario. As we all know that the drugs are the illegal matter which used by a lot of people by drinking, eating, injection, and even smoking. It's just for the physical and mental experience which is given. Drug abuse or drug addiction is one of the most chronic and compulsive disorder which requires treatment. Drug addiction has become a serious problem all over the world. The number of teenagers and youth who are getting addicted to the drugs are increasing day by day. And various drugs like marijuana, cocaine, heroin are used by addicts all over the world. Consumption of drugs can make mental and physical disorders, decrease in intelligence level, and also depression, and even untimely death. When someone completely comes into the temptation of drug, it's very difficult to him or her to get back to normal life. There are many cases that even the drug rehabilitation center can't even do anything because of the worst condition of the patient. So, we as a youth, the future of our nation, should stay away from drugs. By this, we are concluding our group discussion and beginning to fight against drug abuse. Thank you.